What's up, you guys? You know exactly what we're doing today. You know what time it is tonight. What is that? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I forgot to turn down my volume there on the other device. The backup device to make sure everything is going on, everything's happening. Let me turn down that background music as well. But what's going on tonight, y'all? I see some people in the chat already. I know. I'm about 9 or 10 minutes past the regular time. But that's how you know it's going to be a good show. When we show up a little bit late, that's how you know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. I do see everybody up in the chat throwing some blue diamonds. What's up? It's the second time for us today coming on live. So, things are a little bit different. But we got Miss Armstrong. I know a lot of people has been waiting to hear from her because, we did do the review on Andre's case when he, I guess accidentally or allegedly took something there that maybe he shouldn't have touched, right? And there was some debate around it. Some people said that Miss Armstrong might be a scorned woman. Some people said she was doing the right thing. There's a lot of things that we were just kind of guessing and putting some of our opinions in, where maybe they shouldn't have belonged, right? But either way, we're here tonight, and we're gonna see what's going on, right? So, before I take up all your time a little too longer, let's get the show started. Welcome to Bluerock Tea TV's live show, where we spill the tea on the celebrities you love and hate. So sit back and hold on to your seats, but don't hold back. Get in the live chat, cause it's about to get juicy. You know how it goes. Tea time, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, chat? Hey, what's going on, Blue Rock? We are here for another segment.
Oh my gosh, today's been a wild day. We started off a little bit calm, I think, with going over Carlissa's properties. But while I was getting ready for this interview, I think you were mentioning that there's been a bunch of stuff going down, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it's been a ton of stuff going on. I've been, I was out, with my friend today, but I'm getting a lot of messages in the chat, and I'm like, in my DMs, I'm like, what the heck is going on? So trying to entertain my friend and still trying to get the tea at the same time. So, just still trying to stay informed. I know how it goes.
And here I am. I was getting ready for this interview because I know this is gonna be a big one. So I'm like, let me get ready, because I know the audience, they want to know a lot of information from last time. So I'm like, let me make sure we get this ready. Let's figure it out. I think we did our research from last time already. So I think it was more so just trying to get, some of the foundations for the questions down pat, but it's going to be a big one. I see some people in the chat already just dropping blue diamonds like crazy. They're all ready. Anybody you want to shout out in particular in the chat?
Of course, I always want to shout out my daughter. She's always holding it down. Yvette, that's Pie. That's my girl. Always holding it down. Aries Rule. Audrey, Kristen, always Fab, always holding it down.
Yes, and I see Unique and Bless, Queen Grandma Rocks, Shorty Doo-Wop up in here. A whole bunch of people are here to join us tonight. We already have about 130 people in the chat. It's gonna go up. It definitely will go up. But go ahead and hit that like button, you guys, and hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Miss Armstrong is backstage, and she's waiting to tell her truth. Y'all seen the intro today. It's all about them. It's all about her and Jay, because we had some questions, right? Did we not have a bunch of questions last time, Latrice?
We had a ton of questions.
Right, and I know the viewers really wanted to know who she was, right? And at one point during the show, some people thought it was the makeup artist, Callie's makeup artist, right? Remember that?
Yes.
I remember that. I was like, not us trying to spill tea on one person, but spilling it on two at the same time, right?
Yeah, we felt like we were solving a mystery at that point. We was on it that night.
And like you guys know, it was a mistake that, the name was in the document to begin with, right? We were just there doing what we do, trying to share and spill the tea. And then all of a sudden, boom, the name showed up and the challenge was there. And we got Miss Armstrong. We spoke to her. She's quite friendly, quite straight up, and she's really here to tell her truth. So I mean, Latrice, you got some work done in order to get us here as well. So I mean, whew.
Yeah,
we got her here, right?
She's super cute too, and she's looking super cute.
I didn't think they was ready for that.
Yeah, she's looking super cute.
Yeah, but what do you guys think? Drop some blue diamonds and some teacups in the chat. We're about to bring Miss Armstrong on because, we have her backstage here, but we definitely want to bring her up front stage so we can, start asking some questions, starting to meet the most famous one. As you guys can see already, we see a little photo of her up in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looking boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see the blue diamonds and the teacups, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and bring her up on stage. Miss Armstrong, what's going on? How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. How are you guys?
We're doing good,
Hey.
Hey
right?
now.
We're doing good. We're doing good. Thanks again for coming out. I contacted you. I was like, "Are you the one?"
Yeah,
And you were straight up.
yeah, it's I in the flesh. I never thought in a million years I would ever be here, and due to these circumstances, so I'm ready to share my side of the story, clear the air, and move on with my life.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're here. We're talking about, we're spilling the tea. Sometimes I may be laughing about it, kind of having a light moment, but in reality, this was a quite serious moment for you, was it not?
Yes, absolutely. It was definitely a serious moment and a pivotal moment and a hard decision to make, if we're going to be honest. Look at the
Mm-hmm.
comments. Oh, she's pretty. You right. No, I thank you. I thank you for that.
Right? Strike the
I have a
pose.
good humor too, so don't take it personal. But just being a black woman, I have to learn how to receive credit, and I'm grateful of that. My parents did not create an ugly person, nor do we have ugly genes in our family. So I thank y'all for that.
Right, right. Exactly. And Treese, did you want to start off? Did you want to start off, asking Miss Armstrong the story? Because I think if anything, we should probably start from the beginning. What do you guys think, chat?
Yeah.
And let me say this: whatever you want to ask me, ask me. I'm an open book. I don't lie. I don't sugarcoat anything. Very blunt and forward. I will try my best to watch my mouth. I'm very passionate about things that I talk about and touch up on. So please forgive me in advance.
Well, we just again, we definitely thank you for being here and taking time out of your busy schedule, so we really appreciate it. So yes, we're going to start at the beginning. And so what we want to know is, how did you and Andre actually meet, and when? How did you meet and when?
Andre, I'm gonna shorten it for Dre. Dre and I actually met on Instagram back in 2019, 2020 per se, and as you all can see, I'm an attractive person, and he inboxed me, and it was just some small chat like, "Hey, who are you? You're beautiful." Woo, woo, woo. And I can't even tell you exactly verbatim, word by word, because I deleted the chats. But it was like, I would like to get to know you, blase, blase. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, who are you though? So he was like, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. And you're welcome. I'm gonna share this story one time, y'all, and I'm not gonna talk about it again. I'm gonna let this RIP. But he basically wanted to know who I was, what have you. And so he was like, you wouldn't believe who I am. I'm like, well, who are you? Because I'm looking through the pictures. I see you sitting next to Blue, but that could be anything. And so he was like, I'm Blueface brother. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. So it made me leery right there, because I never want to talk to someone because of somebody else's fame. You know what I mean? I want to talk to
Hmm.
you, who you are, what you stand for. And so I'm like, okay. So he was like, yeah, I'll be in Bakersfield. So when he said Bakersfield, I'm like, okay, well, you know a little bit about the town. So he started naming people. I'm like, yeah, I know a few of these people. He was naming little places here in town, and he named a particular street. So I'm like, yeah, I'm familiar with that street. So he was like, what's up? Can I meet you? So I'm like now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, we'll have a meeting point because I don't know you. You know what I mean? So we linked up, and we walked the park that we met up at, and we were talking. And this particular day, it was supposed to be in like spring or so. It was actually cold that night, and he had on a wife beater, tank top. And I'm like, where your sweater at? Like, you don't know about Bakersfield? Like, the weather's crazy here. It's not like LA. So we end up going back to his studio that he showed me. Now, I don't know if this is his studio or not. However, I was really inspired seeing this young black man, entrepreneur, not really taking the credit or the clout or the fame that his brother has, but just pursuing going forward in life. Like he wanted something and not out here doing what why we're here. But it was just really inspiring knowing that, okay, he's an entrepreneur. I stepped into entrepreneurship. He's motivated. And I like that. You know, it was very intriguing because it's a different tune, it's a different conversation compared to some of the gentlemen that I come across in my life. So we hung out until like the next morning, until the sun came up, and it just the conversation was just amazing. You know, just a cool person. He shared a little backstory about how he went to prison or what have you, did like 17 years, and just his mindset at that time was very like different. It was cool. It was like he wants something. He doesn't want to be a registered felon who's Blueface brother. You get what I'm saying? So it was just that's how we started off. Throughout time. Now, one thing about me, I want to get this clear. I chase no man. I'm not the first one to call. I'm not the first one to text. Okay. If that's the case, I'm always have my phone in my hand and the list goes on. So he would always hit me up. So that's how me and him kind of stayed in contact, because I never wanted him to think that I was chasing him or wanted him because of his brother. That was never the case.
All right, all right. So now I guess, just to make sure I understood that correctly, you met him on IG. Was it the same night that y'all went for that walk, or?
Yeah, it was pretty much that same night because my schedule was I was available. Like I said, I run a business, and at that time I was moving. You know, it caused a rift in my family because I'm growing a business. You know, I wanted to retire my children before they even turned 18. So I was out there basically working hard, and being a black woman, I had to really put in that work, and I did. And I'm glad that I did because I met some amazing people. So I had the time to go meet up with him. We met up, we hung out. From there, it just cracked off. And then he just started showing a little different sides of him. And I'm like, dude, like, what's your issue? But now, moving forward, I see what the issue is.
So when you say different sides, like, can
So,
you expound
so
on what you mean
yes,
by that?
we was having a conversation and he just spazzed out. Like, I don't want to be in no relationship. Like, just tripping. I'm like, hold on, bro. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship either. I've been single since 2016. I'm not ready for a relationship because what I'm doing is I'm healing. But along the way, along your journey, you know, people come across your path to help you with your healing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, where you get this from? I'm not pressuring you to be in a relationship with you. Like when you come to town, you bang my line. You know what I mean? So don't ever think 1 second I want to be in a relationship with you. We're just cool. You know, you just we just cool. It ain't nothing like that. It'll never be nothing like that.
Got it.
So when you said these like spaz out or flip out started to happen, like how soon after knowing him was it like that? Would you say it's
Um,
pretty soon, or?
it was pretty much like pretty soon. So that made me turn my cheek like I'm cool. Like I'm good. I don't need this type of attitude or this type of behavior when we're just cool, we're just friends. There's no need for that. So obviously there is a deeper rooted issue there that you're going to have to fix before I let you in my safe haven, before I allow your negative energy to negatify my energy. So you can kick rocks. Bye. And
And
so
now
that
I know also when you and I spoke a bit in the background, about the review that we did here on Bluerock Tea TV, about the, the report and stuff. We had somebody up, Jazzy at the time, right? She's here, she's in the comments, that's her. She's saying that she's listening. I don't know if you want to say hi, but
hello
just
Jazzy.
wanted to let you know Jazzy's here. Jazzy, I think throughout the interview at some point, I think Miss Armstrong just wanted to clarify some of the things that were being said, so I think that's good as well because like we said, everybody has their opinions, right? There was a bunch of different opinions throughout our review rather, right? And again, Miss Armstrong, I thank you again for taking the time to come on here and let us know your side, but also, taking the time to watch the review that we did about the situation, just so that, you had an idea of what the viewers had saw as well, and what they heard, so that way we can kind of all come back here at the table and have a really good informative type conversation, right? So I
Absolutely.
think so far we kind of understand, how you guys met. You met on IG. You said it was back in 2019, if I'm correct. Y'all kind of, went ahead, started, I guess, chilling with each other here and there, having some conversations at the table at times. And it seems as if Andre started to freak out, thinking that maybe you thought that y'all was gonna move into a next stage or something, but you were like, nah, B, don't worry, I got this as much as you got this. We're good, just calm down, right? Does
Yeah.
that summarize it pretty well?
Yeah.
Um,
Pretty.
all right, cool. So now, and I think the chat wants to know as well. But before we even get into some of the things that you may have found out, may have not known as of yet, go ahead, chat. There's 295 of you, almost 300 so far. Go ahead, hit that like button. Keep dropping those blue diamonds and those teacups in the chat. Miss Armstrong, as she said earlier, and I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I was gonna say, be careful when you tell the people that you're down for all sorts of questions, because sometimes this chat gets real spicy, and sometimes they're gonna be asking questions that you're like, damn, did I really tell them I'm open for anything? So y'all, like I always say on every show, be respectful in the chat, be respectful to our guests, be respectful to the host. You can share your opinions on whichever, way you feel about the situation, but we do ask that we be respectful. Hopefully we're all adults, we're all grown adults in here. If you're not an adult, go talk to your mom or dad or somebody, but at this point, hopefully we are, and we can have that type of, conversation around, serious matters like this without it getting wild and goofy. You know what I'm saying? But
Right. No.
yeah, now that we understand more about y'all, and how you met in your relationship, right? Did you know he was married? And if not, when was it around that you found out, or that you heard about it?
Okay. So for one, I want to clear the air on that situation. I never knew
Sure.
Andre was. Andre and I never had that type of conversation about if we were involved with someone or if we were in a relationship or a situationship due to that nature. I never knew anything about his personal life in that aspect because I do respect people's privacy. However, we weren't on that level like we were lovers for me to even question that type of situation that he had going on. I learned of him being married after the situation that happened with the gun. I happened to get on TikTok. Do you have a TikTok, Blue Rock?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so I just so happened, God will send you messages when you're not even expecting it. I just opened up TikTok and I believe it was your page stating that Andre was married. And I was like, what the heck? Not only did you steal my gun, but you hid that you was married. Like, I would have never entertained this. You know what I mean? I would have never entertained this. So I called my girls like, hey, he's married. Like, what the heck? What if this get out and blow up? Now I look like I'm the mistress. I don't want to be labeled as no mistress. You know what I mean? Like, this is embarrassing. And it's like defamation of character. I don't even get down like that. So I never knew the man was married. Let me tell you what he told me. Dre used to tell me that he's going back and forth to court. That's why he was in Bakersfield a lot. He was going back and forth to court to get custody of his child. So when all this came down, I'm like, Dre, you're homeless. How are you going to get custody of your child? No disrespect. We do fall on bad times and bad terms in life, but no judge is going to see you fit to take that child away from her mother who can offer stability. Like, let's make it make sense. And so when I found out that he was married, I was really disappointed. Like, we were cool. You couldn't tell me this. You don't make no decision for me. You know what I mean? So it was like a slap in the face. But I never knew the man was married. The way he made it seem he had beef with his baby mama or his wife. That's not my character. I don't play like that. God don't bless no mess.
Latrice, did you have a follow-up question to that?
Yeah.
I do, but
So
I just wanted to check.
Right. So I wanted to go back to you're saying that he immediately told you in the beginning. I mean, that you would get the signs of him saying, that you guys he didn't want a relationship or he didn't want to be in a relationship or anything like that. So if he started showing those signs in the beginning, so I want to ask, how often would you see each other? And if he showed those signs,
Hmm.
how often would you see each other after that, and how did it go from him saying I don't want to be a relationship, how did it get from there to leading up to the point where he was staying in your apartment and the situation took place?
Okay, so for that, when he displayed the whole relationship thing, I fell back because, for one, you're not going to get at me like that. You're not going to talk to me like that. I don't need, and I hate to say this, but I don't need a man present for me to be who I am or live my life. I am me. Don't no man add to me, or they're not going to take away from me. And I don't have to deal with that type of behavior. So I fell back. Like, you got some personal issues going on. You go ahead and handle that once you free yourself of that. Once again, me and Dre did not have that type of relationship as if we were in a relationship or we
Got it.
were towards that. Now, Dre, once again, 2019, 2020, we're talking about 2023. I felt comfortable enough for Andre to be in my house. And that's what led up to the situation. Typically, it will be months that go by before we even see each other. When he came into town, he would let me know. And a lot of times I couldn't see him because I do have a life. You know what I mean? And my thing is, don't hit me up at last minute and tell me, hey, I'm here. You knew when you were driving on the 5 to the 99 going north, you knew you were coming to Bakersfield. Give me a heads up so I can arrange my schedule so we can just hang out and chop it up. But it was never, oh, I'm in town, I'm running to you, or you coming over here. It was never like that. We've only hung out at like a handful of times, if we're gonna keep it real.
Okay, so just a quick question. In the handful of times, how long was it that you guys had known each other or been talking?
At least a few years by then. I mean, we established a friendship. I mean, we established some trust there because I'm not gonna leave you in my house. Like, I'm not about to do that.
Now, I wanted to go back to a question about finding out that he was married, right? So when you found out he was married, I just wanted to clarify, like, when was that? Was that after the whole altar like stuff?
Yes, that was
So this was
after.
pretty much after you were done with him?
Yes. Well, let me clear this up. Done with
Okay.
him.
You know what I mean, but it's good that you clarify the
Right.
word
Right.
choices. It's good, yeah.
Yes. Yes. It happened many months after, when he stole my firearm, that I recently found out that he was married.
Okay. So, all right. Trace, any follow-up questions around where we're at right now, or
um yeah, I think I'm just trying to piece it together. So again, so you're saying, how often would you guys see each other after that? So it wasn't very often.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
no, it was not very often. It was once every blue moon, once every few months, but he would chop it up with me over the phone. It was never a situation where we were always with each other all the time and always on the phone and always texting. It was not like that between him and I.
And was the when you did get together, was it strictly platonic, or were there feelings of, were y'all feeling each other a little bit, or primarily platonic?
Um, well, as you can see, I'm attractive. I mean, that's a question you're gonna have to ask him. But yeah, it was some type of, I'm not gonna say feelings. It takes a long time for me to even catch a feeling, let alone like a cool vibe. I'm very stubborn. I have a wall blocked up. I hardly let anybody in. And I wouldn't even, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Treese. I wouldn't even do this interview, but I did not like some of the things that were stated or said about me, per se. So I'm just clearing up the air. This is the last time I'm gonna discuss this, about the whole situation between
Yeah.
Drake that happened. Um, I'll keep it real with you. I have a roster. Okay. I'm not tripping off Dre. I'm not sweating off Dre. There's plenty men out there who can give me the time, the affection, and the need. But at that same token, I don't allow anybody in. Obviously, I trusted Dre to leave him at the house to just pick up a few items at
Mm-hmm.
the store, and my gun was stolen. We'll touch it. We'll get on that later, but it wasn't something that, when you really like somebody, you really vibing with them, and that's all you could think about, and that's who you want to talk to, and the song reminds you of that person. It was never like that between me and Dre. It was, hey, I'm in town, let's come by, see me, or can I come see you type of ordeal. And that's what it was. That's how we was able to get this far, because what I don't like pressure from a man. I don't like the feeling like I'm in a relationship if we're not in a relationship. I'm not going to give you that title or that energy when we're not even on that. You get what I'm saying? So we was never anything.
Got it. Got it.
All right. So I guess I hear what you're saying. So throughout the couple of years or whatever, it's like, we talk here and there throughout the phone, whatever, messages, whatever. If he shows up and we chill, if he's in the area, we chill, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But it wasn't per se anything that you felt, strongly emotionally tied to, or a relationship that you were, I think like you said before, you're more entrepreneur focused. You're trying to, and that's where your goal was, right?
Right.
Um, but in the midst of this, you were kind of talking to him. Like you said, he was part of your roster, I think you had said at one point, right? All right,
Yeah.
cool. We got that. Cool. Now, so I guess we understand the dynamics of all that, right? So help us now. I think it's good enough for us to get now to, the moment that, he came that day, and then the, whatever led to this
Mhm.
report, right?
Okay.
Now, Miss Armstrong, I know you said you wanted me to pull up the report at some point. Let me know in you telling whatever you're telling, if and when you want me to do that, okay?
For sure.
But perhaps take us to that day. Like, take us first before we even get to that day. Take us to the time that you guys were planning that day. What did it look like? Was that spontaneous as well? Perhaps take us there.
Okay. So this particular day, I was home. I had moved from an apartment into a house, and at the time, I was the only person in the home. So I know a lot of people are asking, why did I leave the gun out? Don't I have kids? Yes, I do. I have two children. However, my children know better. It's other people, kids that don't know how to stop touching stuff. But I was at home.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your flow, but at this point, just for YouTube policies and stuff, if we can just refer
Oh,
to it as property just for
got
now,
you.
because I
My
think they
personal,
know what it is.
got you. My
Thank you,
personal
I appreciate you.
was on the dresser. So I've been at home for a couple of days, and cleaning up, doing my normal routine that I do. And I got a call from Dre, like, hey, what's up? I want to come see. I'm like, okay. He was like, well, I'll be there in a minute. I'm like, hold on. So this happened back in July. I moved into my house in May. So this lets you know that I don't talk to him very often, because he said he was going to pull up. Where are you pulling up to? I don't live there anymore. So um he wanted to come over. I sent him the address. I said, I live here. Just let me know when you get here. Because typically the front door is on the other side of the house and I wouldn't hear you. So I'm at home, chilling, relaxing. The personal property was on the dresser. He asked me if I was hungry. He brought me some food and we chilled, watched TV. I'm doing laundry, what have you. End up taking a nap, going to sleep. And then I end up getting up, and I was like, dang, you could sleep all day. I can't do that. I got too much stuff to do. He was like, I'm just really tired. It's a lot going on, what have you. So I'm like, okay, well, get your rest. And this is just the type of person I am, and the type of friend that I am to anybody. My doors is open to anyone who needs that safe haven. And I felt like that's what he needed at that moment. So I politely shut the door and continued doing what I was doing. Well, he wake up and he's like, I'm hungry, but I got to finish this paper. So I'm like, you go to school now? He's like, yeah, I go to school. I'm like, okay, good for you. So he was like, you got a computer I can use? I said, no, but I got an iPad and I got a Chromebook. So he like, okay, well, it's okay. I'll just stay on the phone. So in the midst of this, the sun goes down. He's like, I'm really hungry. So I'm like, okay, well, what is it that you want? Do you want me to cook something? he was like, yeah, can you make X, Y, and Z? I think he wanted some spaghetti. I'm like, out of all things, you want some spaghetti? Okay, cool. I could cook, y'all. But I'm like, you want some spaghetti? All right, got you. I said, well, look, I have to run to the store because I don't have everything. I also don't have no money. So he was like, well, I'll shoot you some bread so you can go to the store real quick, get what you need. So I'm like, okay, cool. He gets up, take a shower. I'm finishing up what I'm doing. So I'm walking back and forth. My personal property is on my dresser where it has been and have not moved from in so many days. I see it. I know it's there. I remember placing it there, but I felt like you've been over my house numerous of times. Nothing's came up missing before. So why do
Sure.
I need
Before you move on there, I think I don't know if you want to clarify this, but somebody is under the impression that um your children are there at this time.
no? So like I stated
Exactly.
before, I was the
Yeah.
only person at home. And
Exactly.
a stranger, this is someone I've been kind of knowing of or being around for a couple of years. So he wasn't a stranger to me. I would never leave a man in the home where my children are at the same time that I am and this person is there. That's ludicrous to me. And I have boys. It's the way my boys would have tore his tail up. Like, who are you? What you doing here? My kids would have made him feel so uncomfortable. He wouldn't have wanted to stay. So I was home alone during the time Dre was at my home. And once again, my children, I have no man around my kids. I've been away from their father since 2016. That's going on 9 years. My children only met one man that I've dealt with this whole time. Me and their father has been broken up. I don't run that type of show. That creates trauma, and that's a trigger for a lot of us. I'm still like that with my parents. I'm almost 40 years old, so I don't have just any and anybody around my friends nor my family, not even my home. So Dre was someone I trusted, and I hope that answers her question.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think some people in the chat are just kind of highlighting the idea that, you I think they're having a hard time connecting the idea that you weren't as interested or head over heels over him. Like you were maintaining, your dignity, your respect, the way that you do, I guess, when it comes to checking somebody and talking to somebody. I think they're kind of mixing that up with the idea of, you having somebody at your house. And because I don't think you were saying you didn't care for him at all. I think you were just trying to give your perspective of how, you felt in your way of, like, approaching him or approaching what you guys had, right? So ideally you have this person at your house, you you're about to make plans with them to have dinner, I guess. So what else happens? You have to go and get the ingredients, I think, or
Yeah. Let me explain this. I don't go over people houses. Dre didn't even have nowhere for me to even hang out with him at. He lost the studio. He lost the whatever he had. He got dropped off at my house. He had a car. He don't no longer have that car anymore, from my understanding. So it wasn't like he had somewhere for me to visit. So therefore, it's in the middle of July. It's in the middle of the summer. It's hot as heck. Where are we going? Where are we going? So that's why Dre was allowed to come over my house. And at the end, and I still had housework that I needed to take care of. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't want to stop what I was doing to go hang out with him. No, you could come over here. I mean, it's cool. It's just you and I. I never thought that he would take my personal possession, what have you, but you can't put nothing past anybody. And this is a lesson learned. So yes, so let me get back to the story. So like I said, I walked by the dresser numerous of times. One of the tall dressers wasn't a nightstand. It was one of the tall dressers, and I'm walking back and forth, and I see my personal possession there. He asked me to go to the store. Okay, cool. Well, I need some money. He dealt me some money to go to the store to get a couple of ingredients. In the midst of this, I looked at what we're talking about, and he said, hey, he distracted me because I was getting ready to reach for it and put it in my purse. But I assume that he had a plan all along. I believe the plan was, let me get you out of my sight, send you away. If you don't take it, then I'm going to take it. Cool. That's just my story on that, or how I analyze it. So I'm like, well, I leave. I'm thinking, well, where could he go? Like, you got dropped off over here unless, you're plotting. You were plotting the whole time. So I go to the store, and for some reason, my service on my phone, because I have an alarm system, I have sensors on every window and every door. For some reason, it did not notify me when he left. So let's say I left at 8:17. I believe that was the timestamp from my garage door opening 8:17. Me putting down the garage, literally driving around the corner, going in the store to grab what I need to come back. In the police report, it said I went grocery shopping. When you hear grocery shopping, you in there for a minute. I was in there all of like 7 minutes. I went directly to what I needed to go to. Go
I don't
ahead.
I don't mean to pause you again, but I'm just gonna just pause for a quick second. It's getting quite interesting. You know what I mean? Because this is really where the main, I think, you know, moment is for everybody, right? But before we do that, there's about almost like there's over 450 people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's some tea being spilled tonight. I know Mr. Armstrong is out here and she's giving it to us straight. Like, some people are having a hard time understanding what's going on, but she's telling you how she felt. You know what I mean? Some people may have it hard to believe that you weren't head over heels over Andre, but then in reality, if we all step back and take a moment, it really wasn't much of a person to be head over heels for. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be rude in any way. When we're
No,
just looking at,
you're being honest.
yeah,
You're
I'm
being
trying to be
completely
honest.
honest.
Yeah, when
And
we
if
take a look at everything that was going on in his
we
life, but
have
you
that
still paid
type,
attention. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Um,
he's a cool guy. I won't take, even though he did what he did to me, I will not take away from him. He was cool. And then I was like, I don't want to mess that up, because how often do you come across cool people? It's not very often. You get what I'm saying? So I was not head over heels for him. I mean, like I said, I was on my healing journey. I had to heal. I had a really bad breakup. I had to seek help for me. Damaged people hurt innocent people. And I believe that strong heartedly. So I didn't want to get in a place or a space to where I'm misleading, and that's not really what I really want. Like I said from the gate, I'm very honest. I'm very honest. I'm not a liar. I'm not going to sit here and lie, because at the end of the day, I take care of me. I do this for me. I have children. I'm a Black woman. I'm a figure here in town. I speak before people and this, that, and the other. So my image is very, very, very important. Very important. But we were just cool. We wasn't in no relationship.
Latrice, I believe you want to say something.
No, I'm just listening to her as well. And it just seems like your heart was big. So even though he had all of that going on, it's like I'm one of those people that I see somebody have a lot going on. I always want to help. I always want to fix. And even though he had all the homelessness and he was losing everything, if I can fix him a meal, I'm gonna fix him a meal. Whatever it takes to get him to try to feel better. Is that what you're trying to say? Like what you were
Absolutely.
trying to do? He had lost everything, so let me at least, if I can give him something to eat.
Right. Yes, ma'am. That's just who I am. I'm a when you look at who you are and your purpose in life, you have to understand who you are as an individual. There are some of us that are helpers, and then we have some that are takers. I'm a helper. I help people. That's my nature. That's in my zodiac sign. I was raised to help. I'm the oldest child out of I don't know how many children. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm programmed to do. That's what I'm programmed. That's all I know. And
Hmm.
like Treese, I don't know you from a can of paint, but I'm gonna treat you with most love, most respect. Treese, you want a glass of wine? Come on, have a seat.
Hmm.
Come on, have a seat. You know how elder people
Yep.
used to do it back in the day? That's me. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's me. That's who I am. Everybody loves me. Everybody loves coming over. Everybody loves hanging out with me, because I am just that genuine type of person. I never look for nothing in return. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, God is going to bless me. So that's just who I am. I didn't know much about the homelessness, but I started putting two and two together. You got shoes tied on your backpack. You want to wash some clothes over here? You want to take a shower? So something's not adding up. You get what I'm saying? Up until he was like, he got a phone call. Hey, can you? I guess he make beats or whatever. Somebody called and said, "Can you make me a beat?" He was like, "Hey, bro, I'm like practically homeless right now." So I looked over. Oh, you ain't gonna be able to stay here because you're not moving in here with me. I'm the king and the queen of this castle until I find a husband. I'm not doing that. You get what I'm
Well,
saying?
speaking about that, the chat was asking if he's ever lived with you. If not, I think you've clarified that no, you're not doing that.
No, don't.
Would
I
you?
lived with a man since 2016.
All right. Now, would you like to share perhaps, for a typical, like, did he just come spend the day with you most times, or was there
Just
like a couple nights,
no.
or?
It was never spending the night. So I want to iterate that. It was never spending the night. That day that this incident happened was the longest time we've had ever spent with each other ever. Typically when he comes into town, it's just come by, see you real quick, hey, maybe an hour or two, and then he's on his way. I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? It was never no situation where he came over consistently like that or he lived with me. Mm-mm.
So Sabrina, who's a subscriber, shout out to Sabrina, wanted to say that's a woman who was raised to be respectful, until disrespected, right? She's also left people in her house, while, there and went somewhere, but, I don't think there's
Right.
any, some people might question the whole leaving somebody, whatever, but you said this is like, I guess maybe at this point, about a year and a half of you knowing him,
Correct.
or speaking to him and getting to know him and things like that, right? So anyways, it's you and him, it's what you decide to do. Now the other aspect that maybe we should kind of touch base on, because maybe it helps explain things, I don't know, but I just thought about it, right? Because when you and I were speaking, you said this property was also a sense of your security because this was a new place that you moved to, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, while some people might think, oh my God, that's scary leaving somebody in your place, you going through and feeling the way you've been feeling, maybe you felt extra safe having Andre there for the night or for the evening, right? So was it really, a concern of you being like, oh my God, this person's in my place? Or is it more so like, I'm good, like I'm chilling, right?
I came from like some rowdy places. I've lived in the hood, right? And I elevated. When I say that, my car changed, my environment changed, the people I've dealt with changed, my apartment from a home changed. So I needed the protection because I heard that somebody was going to set me up to be robbed because I went from this to this. I don't know what it is about me. I don't know because I try to keep myself together. Everybody think I have money. So word was on the street that I was going to be robbed. So I went and got, something to just give me that little bit of protection. And being that I didn't know the neighborhood where I stayed at and I didn't know who was watching, I didn't know. So I had that in my home. I made sure when I moved in, before I even moved in, I had the security system set up. I've had the camera set up because where I stay at, it's pretty big. And I just wanted to be sure that I covered myself in case there was an intruder. If I went haywire, that's just what I did because you came into my personal space. So that's why I had the thing out, the personal possession out or property out. It wasn't to show off. I'm not a show off type of person. I don't even, everything in my house have a place. You get what I'm saying? I have OCD real bad. So everything has a place. Everything has a storage. So when that had happened, I was like, oh, you took it because I know where I keep everything at. You get what I'm saying? So I see the comment. He ain't even supposed to be around one. You're right, but he carried one. He didn't care about what he wasn't supposed to do. He did it. So why should I feel sorry for you because you can't be around one? That's on you. That has nothing to do with me. Just like when he walked in the room, he could have walked out and left. I'm not gonna put nothing up in my house because at the end of the day, it's my house.
Right. And now, so
Yep.
take us back to, sorry, Tracy had a follow-up question.
No, I was going to say that's exactly what I said on the show. You shouldn't have to. That's your house. You shouldn't have to. And if someone comes into my house, they need to respect what's my property and it's my house.
Point blank in all the periods. I should
Now, I
not.
do want to let you guys know, go ahead, hit that like button. We will give an opportunity at some point closer to the end of the show for some of the guests that we do know or know of to jump up and ask some questions if they wish. You know, so hopefully you're somebody in the chat that we know and you've been commenting and we kind of see your drift, because we want to make sure that anybody who comes up is respectful. Just, you know, we can have a healthy conversation, but just definitely be respectful. That's a little bit closer to the end. So for those who are wondering why is he not dropping the StreamYard link, that is why, because it's most important. The reason why Miss Armstrong is here, so that way she can get her side out. You know, I know I'm kind of interrupting here and there nonetheless to do what I got to do as the host, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that she feels comfortable and she feels that, you know, she was able to get her story out before we start, you know, adding any type of extra distraction. No offense, chat. But I think you guys know what I mean, right, Trace?
Yeah, yeah. And so I want to ask this. So now we get, let's fast forward. You get back home and you notice that your property is gone. How
Missing.
do you get to the point? Yes, that it's missing. How do you get to the, explain your thoughts and how you got to the point where you called the police?
Okay. So when I came home, I'm looking for him. I don't see him. I look at my phone. I don't see no notification that any door was open. I go in my room. I look on the dresser. I don't see it. I'm looking for him. I can't find him. I'm looking. It shouldn't be nowhere because I left it there. So I'm calling him, texting him. Hey, where you at? Where did you go? Where is my stuff? Oh, you tripping. I'm tripping. Baby, let me tell you something. Yeah, I'm going to trip over that. I'm going to trip over that because at the end of the day, you should have never took it. And it's registered to me. So if anything come back, my name is on that. I have to explain. So I said, look, you got until 9:30 to bring me my personal property back. If not, I'm calling the police. And I mean that with all my heart, because people with those hurt innocent people, or you got a target, or you have a motive, and it's not going to be nothing that came from me. And especially if it's registered and there's fingerprints on that and that to make it boom. No, you need to bring me my stuff back. So he talking about, oh, you tripping, you mad because I left. I'm mad you left with my stuff. I don't care about you leaving. We're not together. We're not in a relationship. You're not really anything to me in that sense for you to sit here and come at me like that. So 9:30 come. 9-1. No, actually, the non-emergency number. I'll call him. I said, I would like to report my stolen from my home. So I'm calling him, I'm texting him, I'm blowing him up. He's not answering. He's not responding. I'll be back. I gotta go make a play real quick. Oh, okay. So when I hear play, it's one or two things. And out of those one or two things, one of them ain't good. And you left with my, okay, cool. So when I called 911, I ended up going to sleep because I was just so upset. I was so frustrated. I was so irritated. I was in disbelief because I allowed you in my home when I didn't have to. I low-key feel sorry for you when I didn't have to. So you do this, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm finna report you because I gave you until 9:30 to bring what you took from me back, and you didn't do that. So when the police officer came, I gave my statement. And I said, you wouldn't even believe who brother this is. He was like, who? I said, Blueface brother. And he said, are you serious? I said, yes, I'm serious. He said, wait, his brother got money. I said, that's his brother money. Don't tie him up to none of that. You don't have to act like this. Like if you needed money, I'm sure your family would not help you. I don't know the backstory on that, but I'm sure you could get some type of help. So that's what led up to BPD being called. To this police report, I really didn't like how the detective made it seem as if Andre, so I think this is where everybody's getting my boyfriend. First of all, he was my boyfriend. Why did he need to steal from me? Because in this police report, I did state that he was homeless. Any man of mine is not going to be homeless. We're going to work together as a team. And you would have not need to steal from me. because it's the way you're going to have yours too. We're going to protect each other together. So that's what led up to the police being called, because he did take something of mine that was registered to me. I even showed the officer the receipt when I purchased it, the background check and all this and all that. I'm not sure if everybody know there's a process that you have to go through to conceal one of these. And they don't give it to you right away. I had to wait a total of, I believe, 14 days before I can pick it up. I worked very hard for that. I deserve that. That is mine. So you steal from a store, guess what they doing? They calling the law too. So what was wrong with me protecting myself and calling the police behind what he did? There's nothing wrong that I did. I'm protecting myself. And at the end of the day, it was registered to me.
Yep, I understand that.
I carry many licenses. You know, like I said, I speak before people. I work with youth. I do all type of stuff around here in this community. I don't want nothing coming back to me to where I have to explain, well, there was and some people were injured. We found this. This belongs to you. Oh, no, I'm covering my tracks. I called and reported. I have this here. But what I was upset about was how they kept saying, this is my boyfriend. That's not my boyfriend. I ain't had a man since 2016. Like, real talk. And then I went grocery shopping, so it made it seem like I was gone for a lengthy time. When I left my home, Trees, Andre left 3 minutes right after I left. He literally left right after I left. Andre texted me like a couple of minutes right before I got back saying, hey, I'll be back. I got to make a play. I said, hold on. Give me a second. I'm literally at the light. He was already gone.
Wow.
He was already gone. So
do you think that he saw, I was going to say, do you think that he had already seen the property and had already had a plan to, remove it?
Absolutely. Yes, I believe he had a plan from the gate when he noticed that I was moving around the house and wasn't even really tripping about it sitting there. I believe he had a plan. He had a personal motive. Once again, if you're dealing with someone who's homeless, and I even asked Dre, and I know we got to keep it PG-13. I asked him, and if y'all can read in between the lines, was you dibbling and dabbling in something else? Because why did you lose everything? Like, what's going on with you? You have to be on something, because you went from this down here. For what? He's trying to blame his baby mama took everything. All along, bro, you married and you putting me in a mistress position, and I don't even want this role. You get what I'm saying? So I called the police. Now, I want to clear something up too. I'm not spiteful. I'm not bitter. I'm not evil. I'm not upset the man has a wife, because at the end of the day, that woman said I do to him and his problems. That has nothing to do with me. I am protecting me and my peace and the things that I worked hard for. So I don't want nobody to sit here and think that I called the police because he went back to his wife. Good as he should. He should have never been at my house. Had I known he was married, Dre would have never stepped foot in my house. I'm good. I want to meet you and your wife because we had a friendship. It wasn't like that. So that's why I'm getting on here today and I'm clearing this up, because I come second to nobody. If I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, like I said, I'm honest. Do y'all know how many messages I get a day? Men want me. They want me to be their mistress, or they want me to do that little. If y'all can see what I'm saying, I'm good. I don't live that type of lifestyle, and I don't appreciate what I'm going through right now because he took something from me that I worked hard for.
I mean, I heard that, like there's a lot of people in the chat, really speculating on, the reason why you would have done it. And I think just the reason alone that it's your, property, it's in your name is, a good enough. And the only reason really, to do it alone, whether or not there was other, thought processes that occurred, beyond that, I just think that alone is a good enough reason to kind of
Correct.
report something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hearing the chat, I don't know if the chat's being messy or they just want the tea really served tonight, so I get it because, I think they're having a hard time of like, wondering, I guess maybe this is a good question to ask. How about this? Before this property issue happened, right? Did you see, a potential of you and Dre, getting serious at some point, or was this just for
No,
you?
that's going to be a hard no for 10,000, please. And I stated that before. I never wanted a relationship with Dre on that level. I don't want
Yeah.
to be. And let me say this, I don't know his family like that. And with that type of fame, it comes with a different life and a lifestyle. I don't partake in that. The things that I speak upon, mentoring young women and things of that nature, I don't want it. I want no parts. I had no issue. Thank you, Tamara. I have no problem with being in the back as a friend, being supportive. I didn't want to be with Dre, and I definitely was hesitant on meeting him due to the fact that he told me Blueface was his brother. Not knocking Blueface. If it was Snoop Dogg or this person or that person, I didn't want no parts. I just don't want no parts. I never looked at me and Dre's little friendship as something that was going to be a big thing in the future. Not at all.
Now there is a question that the chat, I don't know if it's the same person, but I did see it come up, multiple times. But for some, they wanted to know, why you felt it was appropriate or the need to mention, that this was Blueface's brother to the police. Like, I kind of have my own, reasons why I feel somebody may mention that. You know what I'm saying? But for yourself at this point, at the time, everything going on, why did you feel that was a need to mention it?
More of a sense of humor, like how dare this person related to this person stoop this low to do this to little bitty old me. That's why I shared it. And regardless of the fact of who it is, who he's related to, he was wrong for what he did.
Exactly. I mean, and I agree with that, right? If it, allegedly, if that's what occurred, I would 100% agree, right? Also, I thought to myself, maybe you mentioned it because, sometimes, when people are dealing with police and when they're dealing with, what might be considered, a bit more high profile type individuals, it might be something that you want to mention, that, hey, this is, but I don't really think it should matter, because I don't, you know, thinking about it, I don't know how people would react, how a police officer may react to that, but I think maybe they should just know the person as the person. But
Right.
but you chose to do it for the reasons why you chose. And at that point, hey, you're feeling whichever way, so you decided to do what you did. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to ask that question because the chat really, they were really curious about it. Latrice, did you have some?
Well, I wanted to. I don't know if you wanted to touch on the fact, of when we did the last show, and some in the, in the chat, and some of the viewers were saying that your claim was perhaps because you were, a scorned woman or trying to get back at Dre, and I didn't know if you wanted to address that.
I'll address it again. Like I stated from the beginning, I never knew Andre was married. Once again, had I known Dre was married, I would have never allowed him around me. I don't play that. That is bad karma. That is bad juju. And I believe in good things. I believe in putting out good energy. You're going to receive it back. I don't play that type of stuff. So I didn't. First of all, when he took the gun, if you look at the police report, when he took the gun, that was the day he came to my house, and the day he took the gun, I gave him
The
until 9
property.
feet. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry.
That's
I
okay.
I really do. I apologize.
That's
When
all
he,
right. It is
I know,
gonna happen.
and
We
I
good.
totally forgive me. I'm very honest. I apologize. The day he took my personal property is the same day the police was called. I never known of this his wife. I never knew that. And still, at the end of the day, if I knew about the lady, I'm still going to call the police because you took something from me. That's going to come back to me. Not only is it going to come back to me, I was gifted some ammo. Lack of better words, some ammo. That individual fingerprints was on that just as well. I used it for recreational reasons and for my protection and my safe haven. So if I knew about this lady, he wouldn't have been over there. Two, regardless of the fact if it was about this, me being upset about, he still took something from me that I would have to explain later on down in life. He should have never touched it.
Okay.
Somebody said that leaving something out. I'm telling you everything. I'm not leaving nothing out.
And you're saying strictly platonic, never nothing romantic, nothing like that.
We did a couple of times, but that don't mean nothing.
Okay.
That don't mean nothing to me. Let me tell you something. That's just what it was. If it was that, the 3-letter word, that's it. Like I said, it's hard for me to catch feelings. It's hard for me to play with feelings and catch feelings. We've had a couple of times, but it wasn't nothing serious.
Got it.
But at the end of the day, whether if it was there or not, if we did it or not, you still took something from me.
Right.
So it ain't about that. Let me tell y'all, it ain't about that. It's not about that. That comes a dime a dozen. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is if something were to happen with my personal property and they come knocking on my door and want to question me and I have to explain, no. Documentation beats conversation. There's a paper trail. I'm covering my basis because it's mine.
Absolutely.
That belongs to me.
Absolutely. And your name is
and I don't really and I believe that there's no real, like, you know, just like one of these comments said, there's no real reason to have to hammer that in, you know, but you guys have to remember she's seeing the comments. First off, she has access to all the comments coming down throughout, so I can see the reason why she might feel like she needs to, you know, repeat that, you know, a bit more, because, you know, even me looking at it, it might not be sinking in the way that, you know, she's trying to really tell you guys, right? Because I see the chat, you know, they're still thinking for some reason that there's more to it. You know, they still think that you could have possibly catch feelings. I think some of them still think that you may have known the wife a little bit sooner, you know, than you're putting on to.
I got 3 girls that I deal with every day, and I tell everything too. Can y'all please answer this? Did I know he was married?
No.
Thank you.
Not the baddies in the back. No, y'all sound like a choir for a second.
Are those
though.
the ladies who are in the chat right now? Because I see some of them in the chat.
They might be. I'm trying to keep up. And
they in the chat?
Yeah, they're in the chat. I see them in the chat.
I love it.
Just to let the lady Jules know, just to clear something up that Jules asked, I never caught feelings. Me and him didn't kick it like that to catch any type of feelings. If y'all want to keep it real, I was told I should be a boy because my personality is totally different from this pretty face that you see. I don't get down like that. I'm not upset about nothing. What I'm upset, oh yeah, I am. You took my personal possession that could lead back to me. But I never knew this man was married. I found out this year when the personal property was taken. That was last year. I just recently found out this year that he was married. Is he good in bed? I don't know. Won't you try it and see it?
I told you the chat sometimes gets a little out of hand, you know.
I ain't worried about it. I can take,
you know, they're like, Bluerock, check this one, you know, me and my messy ass, I was like, let me scroll up and go ahead and click it. But I mean, there you guys have it, you know, like we can move on from that one, right? Somebody wants to know what's your sign, but
I'm a Cancer. I'm a Cancer. I live by it, I die by it. I'm who I am. I'm not going to change that. This situation has opened my eyes. You can't help everybody. You can't feel sorry for everybody. You can't expect people to treat you the way you want to be treated. And I've learned that, you know what I mean? He has called. No, I've not talked to Dre, and I won't talk to Dre. I'm good. LMF, I'm good. Like, we don't have nothing to discuss.
Now, just so you know, some people may say Africa because, you know, you might not know, but Carlissa, his mom, She's been running around lately telling people that he's in Africa in a retreat, kind of, just trying to find his peace. And yeah, so that's kind of
He's
why they're probably
rehab.
sorry.
Hopefully he's in rehab or something, getting himself together. I don't keep up with them. They are who they are. I am who I am. I'm my own entity. I manage my own self. Obviously, there's some deep rooted issues going on with that family. That's for them to figure out. I'm here to state my piece on what had happened so I can be done with this, close this chapter, and move forward in my life. And possibly maybe touch someone who's listening or has been put in this situation or is currently going through something with someone that they love. Stand up for yourself. Speak for yourself, because at the end of the day, all you have is you. Now, this is my word against him, his word. But at the end of the day, it's my truth. He played on that. You get what I'm saying? Yes, I'm a tomboy at heart, a pretty one too, Sharika. Yes, I am. But I am who I am. He is who he is. I was put in a situation and I got to face it. I
I think
take
I heard somebody
accountability.
snapping their fingers in the back, like clock that,
Yeah, like I take accountability for this. I truly do. I felt comfortable letting a friend or someone I was intimate a couple of times with in my home and left them there because he wanted to finish his paper. I respect that. I respect the education. Like, go further pursue your dreams and your goals. That's the type of person I am. Not a hater. I never want this for a black man. Never.
Now, you did say that he did offer you some money to compensate for, you know, the taking your property. And did he send anything with it, or he just sent the money? Like, did he ever like say I'm sorry? Did he ever take accountability, or he just sent the money?
Okay, so what happened was after the incident had happened, he called me private. Normally I screen private calls, but due to the business that I run, I take the call. Hello, I'm like, hello, what's up? This Dre. I know who this is. What you want? Why are you calling me? Where is my personal property? Man, I didn't take that. I didn't take that. Did you call the police? So if you didn't take it, why are you so worried about it? Why was that the first topic of discussion? You get what I'm saying? So how much was it? So I shoot him a low ball number. All right, you got Zelle? I said, yeah. I said, look, he's like, did you call the? Yes, I did call the police. Why would you do that? First of all, why is it registered to you? First of all, I have a clean background. That's why it's registered to me. I am allowed to walk around with it, unlike you. And thirdly, I bought it for me. I don't need to explain nothing. Why did you take it? Man, whatever, whatever. I said, and the fact that you think that I'm mad because you left, that's real childish. But where is it? Man, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So he upset because I'm calling him out on it. So I get off the phone. Next thing you know, I get a text message from the bank. He didn't sell me some money. So let's go back to the interview that y'all had. Why would I accept the money? Why would I not? I mean, he sent it. I can't stop the transaction. I can't block him. I didn't know how he was going to send anything. So I'm thinking, well, not too long ago, you just was talking about how you was homeless and this, that, and the other. So obviously you must sold it and you sending me my cut, but this is mine. So yeah, he sent me some money. I mean, it came to my account. Yeah, I'm going to take it, but I'm still going to let you know that I'm not easing up, because if anything happens, it come back to me, I'm covered.
Got it. And
So
that's
someone
what
just said
that's
something. I'm sorry,
oh,
Trees. Somebody
no,
just
go
said
ahead.
something. The ladies that are in the chat and the ladies that are in the background, did my friends ever meet him? No. The answer is no. I just stated this. My friends only met, other than my children's father and one other gentleman. Me and Dre was not on that type of level to where he was around my family and my friends. He was only around me because it wasn't a serious thing.
Now there was one person that did get to meet him, but before we get into that, right? You guys go ahead, hit that like button, right? There's a little bit more tea that we're gonna spill about tonight, about what happened in the past, rather, I think we now, got to understand, where your relationship was at, right? How it started, rather, on what type of relationship it was, if we are to call it a relationship, right? And to degree, what that looked like. So what would you classify it? How about that? So give me something to classify it as. You and
Ooh,
Dre.
I can't keep it real with y'all because we are on YouTube. Um, ooh,
Are you trying to say like
lack
an
of
F
a better
boy
word,
or?
lack of a better words was like a little sneaky link situation thing. I mean, somebody said FB. I mean, if y'all can read in between the lines, it was nothing serious. But at the same time, I was like a friend to him. That's
So
it. And
somebody
that's
said
all.
kind of like friends with benefits type thing, So
Kind
whichever
of.
it was, it was kind of minimal in your
I don't even want to
opinion,
say
right?
that. I think that's still giving too much credit. But if we're gonna look at it being realistically or realistic, then yes, that's what it was.
Okay. And then so we understood, what led up to the day of you, being there with him, and how you guys chilled, and what led you to leaving the house and then now coming back and realizing what happened, right? Now in the report at some point, I guess the police were following up with you to try to understand, if he's contacted you or not.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe help us understand, what happened after, the payment or around that, whatever we kind of missed. Is there something that you think
Um,
is kind of important?
so after the situation had happened in July, I had heard from the detective back in October, and he asked, had Andre made any contact? And I said, he has called a few times, blowing me up, asking me why did I call the police and this, that, and the other. And how much was it? I guess Dre don't remember sending me money. Um, and that was really it. And I've let the officer know that. Now, this police report that you have, Blue Rock, it was the very first time me ever seeing the police report. I didn't know that they tried to approach him and make an arrest sometime this year. I never known of that. I truly believe during the time that they were searching for Dre, and this is just my belief, I think Dre had went to jail, because there was no type of communication, no type of him contacting me at all. And if I can remember, and I got a new phone since then, I looked up Los Angeles County and I put his name in, and he was incarcerated. So some people were asking me why I didn't reach back to the police and this, that, and the other. I'm not going to do BPD's job. That's not my job. When they learned when he was incarcerated, if he was, then they could have brought the charges up, or the DA could have picked it up. So this, after this situation happened last year, right now as we speak, is the most I've seen about this police report or even discuss this. Like, a lot of people didn't even know what happened, because at the end of the day, I'm not out to get him. That's not the case. I'm just covering myself.
And I get that. I get that. I've been dropping the link there. I just want to let you know as well. I'm starting to drop the link for the viewers. If they want to jump up and ask their question or share their thought of something that they've heard, they can do so now. And when I say viewers, Miss Armstrong, that could include the wonderful ladies that's in the back there as well. If they feel like they want to jump on and holler and say what's up, then by all means, we don't discriminate. It could be anybody that wants to jump
So
on
the
tonight.
the lady in charge of us, she said no. We're gonna leave it alone and let it be. I will ask any questions that is in the chat, but amongst the women here, they have to be quiet. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I just thought, to be fair and to just put it out there in case they're wondering, what the
Hmm.
rules are on that. There's no rules, we're messy here and there, but we respect it. We respect
Yes,
it.
yes.
All right, cool. Now, so I've dropped the link there just for people if they wanted to come up and stuff. Now, I think a lot of times, I think what people are wondering as well, rather, is that You know, have you heard from Dre, you know, since this issue from when you had reported it from to the police, right? I think you had shared something with me. I don't know if you want me to pull that video up for a second and show them, and then maybe you can speak to it, or
Yes, Dre, I'll tell you when to drop that part, Blue Rock.
all right, cool,
Dre
cool.
has contacted me, tried to contact me on other people's social media accounts because I did block him. Because for one, you're harassing me about something that you did. If he can't understand that, I don't know what to explain. There's nothing to talk about at this point. So I blocked him. He would call me like, "What's going on? This, that, and the other." Jasmine, she answered my. Oh, thank you, Jasmine. Um, he has tried to contact me. There at this point, there's nothing to discuss. You know, like I said, and I will say this again: I'm not after him. I'm protecting me. I wish him well, but there was a surprising visit, Blue Rock, and if you
Mm-hmm.
want to go ahead and drop that, you can.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna bring that up. Just so you know, while the video is playing, we're not gonna be here. Like we're not gonna be able to hear anybody talk. Just to give you a heads up. So, the video will play. There is some audio on the video. Once the audio is finished, then the mics will release itself. So just keep an eye out on the mics. And then we'll be able to add some commentary to that. Okay. So for the chat, before we go ahead and play that video, I want to see some likes there because the likes is looking quite weak tonight. You know what I'm saying? There's about 500 of y'all up in here tonight right now. And I think we can get those likes up a little bit
Yeah,
because
we
we're
got
gonna
to get
drop
the
the video.
likes up.
Right, Latrice, what's going on with these
That's
people? I mean,
right.
you
Get
know,
the likes up.
and I'm not talking about the heart in the bottom right hand corner. Close your
Right.
chat and hit that like button. Come on now. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
Miss
People
Armstrong
probably
been
want us
giving
to
it
get
to us
extra
straight.
messy or
No
something.
chaser.
All right, so yeah, let me go ahead and bring this video up here. 1 second.
Who? Andre. I'm in college. Okay. Did she know you was coming? No, I was just coming by. I lost her number and I knew she'd stay right here. Oh, shit, like that. Why? I'll call you stop by. All right. I was wondering if I could talk to her. Or does she have a number? Let me call.
So I'm just gonna show that one more time, you know, because I know the audio is a bit lower on the video, right? Maybe I should have added some subtitle on that one there, but it is what it is on. But you know, if you take a listen, it's Andre showing up here. Looks like, you know, a camera, and he's asking if somebody's home, you know, and you know, so just take a listen carefully to exactly what he's saying, though.
Who? Andre. I'm in college. Okay. Did she know you was coming? No, I was just coming by. I lost her number and I knew she'd stay right here. Oh, shit, like that. Why? I'll call you stop by. All right. I was wondering if I could talk to her. Or does she have a number? Let me call.
All right, Mr. Armstrong, did you want to lead us into that? What's going on there?
Yes. So this incident happened July 3rd of 2024 this year. The firearm was, the personal property was taken July of 2023. So almost a year later, he popped up to my house. I wasn't home. My sister opened actually, he rang the doorbell. So once again, let me reiterate, anytime any motion detectives or whatever is detected, it sends me a notification. So I'm very private. I don't like nobody at my house. I don't like nobody over, and I don't like nobody to just pop up. So being that someone was at the door, I looked at my doorbell camera and it's him. And I'm looking, I'm like, is that Dre? So I call my sister. She was like, somebody at the door. I said, open it, because I have a security door. So I'm listening. He's like asking, is Miss Armstrong there? So she was like, no, and who are you? And all this extra stuff, like, do she know you're coming? If you heard it in the video. Oh, she wouldn't like that. Oh, I lost her number. So I was like, yeah, give him my number, because what are you doing? Why are you back at my house? So he stood, and I didn't download all the videos. I didn't know I was going to ever need to prove this or show this again in life, because I was done with it. He was begging to drop charges. First of all, hey, how you doing? All is well. Oh, I said, where you been? What do you want? I'm back in church, and, God is really working on me. This is what he's telling me. To drop the charges, tell the police department that I found the personal property that was taken, which he don't know. I have to show proof. There's no proof. That's charges up on me. I'm not going to jail for nobody. You did this. So can we still be cool? all this other stuff. First of all, man of God would not tell no woman or no man to sit here and lie to the law. They wouldn't do that. Secondly, the damage is done. This is a year later. Why are you coming to my house now? What do you want to talk about? I have nothing to discuss. So all these numbers here that you see, he was calling me from other people's numbers and other people's phones because he did not have a phone per se. And this is what leads me to believe that he was incarcerated. Because when my sister opened the door, she was like, he looks sick. Like, did he just get out of jail and all this and all this stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. I have not talked to him. I don't want to talk to him. There is nothing to discuss because you shouldn't have did what you did. If you didn't do it, why do you keep trying to pay me? If you didn't do it, why is that always the discussion? If you didn't do it, why is we always touching back on that situation? If you didn't do it, you did it. And then he was begging me, and that's another thing. Maybe I need to, get a little more familiar with his mom, because he kept saying, whatever you do, please don't talk to my mom. I'm thinking, why would I talk to your mom? Whatever you do, please don't make no communication with your mom. First of all,
sorry, when did he start saying that to you? Was it like throughout or like when was that?
This was throughout the conversation I had with him on July 3rd. He kept asking me not to talk to his mother. Me, I don't know how to get in touch with these tabloids and these famous people and this, that, and the other. There's so many accounts. I don't have time for that. I don't even order my own Starbucks if we're gonna keep it real. I just can't do it. So I'm
sorry, I love the ad lib in the back. Like like I love it. Like, no. I love it. I'm not kidding you.
I got one over here hot. I told you my girls, because they know what type of person I am. And this is it's not just me who's going through this. My girls are going through this. And I haven't, like I said, I have not shared this with nobody. So when the town see this, they're gonna follow suit. They're gonna be upset because that's just the type of person I am. But he kept asking me not to talk to his mom. And I'm like, how can I even get in touch with your mama? You know what I mean? Like, I don't, why I'm gonna talk to your mama? You a grown man. You are grown. You made these decisions, not me, not her. You did this. You get what I'm saying? No, I don't have any receipts about the conversation because he is very smart enough to not type anything out. He likes to do the video chat or call from different various numbers. And like I said, once I'm done with something, I'm done. I'm not a receipt track type of person because I can't let this lower my vibration. At the end of the day, I'm not going to hold y'all. I was very traumatized by this when it happened because I didn't know if he was going to come back and harm me. So, and I'm one that sleep in a very dark house. I'm sleeping with lights on. I got lights on in the patio and this, that, and the other, because I didn't know what he was capable of doing, especially with what he took from me. You get what I'm saying?
No, that's fair enough. That's that's fair enough. And and if I heard the conversation, and like you said too, it's he shows up at the door, right? And he doesn't even have your phone number anymore. Allegedly, he claims, right? So he just shows up at your door just to kind of see if you were there, what was going on, right? Now, had you been there, I don't know. You said you grew up, in places where I guess you'll tussle if you need to, but I'm just saying, that could be really scary for some, right? Knowing what you went through, knowing that you had to make a report, and then all of a sudden the person just showing up, out of the blue, right? And so just to be clear, the person who was speaking to him through the Ring camera. They weren't actually, the door wasn't open or anything like that. It was just through the Ring camera, right? Or
from my understanding, she had cracked the door and she was talking to him. Yes, that is a very scary situation. Had I been there, it would have been a whole total different story. Because it's the way I'm calling my folks. Then we call in the law. Because now I feel like you playing with me. And once I feel like you cross them lines and you play with me, there is no mercy for you. May the Lord watch. That's just what it is.
Tea time. Any follow-up questions at this point? Any thoughts about what you've heard?
No, I think that she answered all of the questions that we have. Well, no, I do have one other thing. I saw a comment earlier, and they said that I guess Carissa had mentioned you and said that you um somebody had a comment that maybe Carlissa had discussed you on a live or something like that. Did you ever hear that
No,
conversation, or
no,
did anybody ever share that with you? Oh, okay.
no, ma'am. The Blue Rock Tea TV is the first. When he reached out to me and we had a discussion, this is the first I've learned of this being ever aired.
Oh,
As
okay.
far as Clarissa, no disrespect, but her and I could never have a conversation until I get an apology from somebody. It's no disrespect towards her at all. I know at the end of the day, us as parents and mothers, we want to protect our children, but at the same time, we have to do what's right. And her son was wrong in this manner. But I do want to
So
see
when you,
if something was aired or said. I do want to hear about it because I'm interested.
well, to be honest, if I had it right now, my messy ass would have played it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have it right now. Um, but I do want to know. You said something about an apology. I just want that to be clear. The apology from who?
Well, per se, her son. I mean, he does need to apologize for his actions and he put me through and the stuff that I'm dealing with. But if she wants to be a woman, not saying, excuse me when I say this, if she's apologizing on behalf of her child because of his actions, cool. But I want to let this be clear. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. Please don't come for me because I didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, your son needed some help. I felt sorry. He should have been over there with his wife and his mother, not over here with Miss Armstrong.
So basically, I think, if you don't know, you should know. Carlissa, loves to insert her opinions,
Mm-hmm.
everywhere and anywhere that she possibly potentially can, right? Now, when you say "don't come for me," is that you knowing a little bit of that, or you
Just
just
the
saying period, like just know,
just
as a mom, just know your place. I understand where you're coming from, but just know your place type thing.
both because I've seen a little bit of her actions on TV. The sitcom and just when Krishan and Blue had their TV show with Zeus Network. I've seen a little bit, but at the same token, as a mother, I know my children aren't innocent. I want to hear both sides. And if my gut feeling is telling me my child is wrong, I am going to have a discussion with my children. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, there is a point where you have to be held accountable. A lot of people were just really in the comments really attacking me or Carlissa's going to be upset. At the end of the day, I would say this. I don't blame really nobody in this situation. It happened. But learning and hearing that Dre went to prison at a very young age, he was raised to survive. You get what I'm saying? He was raised to protect himself. So he is programmed and trained to respond this way. I blame the system. If we're going to keep it real, I blame the system because it's supposed to be a rehabilitation program. This man is being punished twice. He's a felon. He's already served his time, but he's a felon and cannot be in possession of no type of legal possession that we're discussing. He's being charged twice for that same crime. So, in the sense, he's just learning how to survive. He's learning how to survive here on the streets. And I might sound delusional, but I'm just honest. If we're going to keep it real and just make it clear, I'm disappointed in him, but I'm not upset of the survival skills he's had to learn. You get what I'm saying? So at the same token, I don't question her. I don't know. At the end of the day, we're here for his actions.
All right, and I hear that. We just had a live viewer join on. We're gonna put them up here. Fabulous, which is one of our moderators as well. Fabulous, what's up? What's going on?
Hey, Blue Rock. Hey, Latrice. Hey, Chad. Hey, Miss Armstrong.
How you
Hey,
doing?
girl.
How are you? I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, uh, you mentioned that you, when you met Dre, he said that he was Blueface brother.
Yes.
Be- Did him being Blueface brother make you drop your guard down and make you trust him
No,
to
ma'am.
be in your house? And I say that to
No,
say
ma'am.
because okay, it's Blueface brother. If something happened, the world would know. That's what I mean by that.
To answer your question, Miss Fab, my intentions was never to, if something were to happen, I never try to think negative. I always look for the positive. And when if you were watching at the beginning, and I'm not sure if you were watching at the beginning, I did state that I was a little leery on talking to him due to the fact that Blueface was his brother or any celebrity. I never wanted that type of lifestyle because of the things that I do in my personal life as far as being a businesswoman. Now that this is out and I'm explaining, so be it. But at the end of the day, it's my truth. So I never talked to him because of Blue. If I liked Blue, I'm gonna talk to Blue. But I talked to Andre for Andre
No,
and for
I'm not saying you talked to him because of Blue. I'm just saying, did that make you like drop your guard down? Because you said I'm this woman. I do this. I mentor. Like, why didn't you do a background check?
because
Because
I
he's known for unaliving somebody, and he's known for robbery allegedly. I'm gonna say allegedly because I mean he did take your gun. I mean
well
the
yeah
not.
yeah
Hold on,
The,
hold on. Are you
I'm
saying
sorry.
no, no,
you're
no, no, no?
right.
That's cool. I'm just shocked a bit. Are you saying a background check on the person that you're dating?
Of course, being the
First,
person that she
Lord,
is, of course.
you
If he
guys
first,
are
coming in her
serious.
house
You
around her
guys are
children, that's
serious.
not.
let me say this, Miss Fab. He was never around my children. He's never met my children. When him and I ever linked up, nobody was at my home. Like I stated before, I don't play that around my children. My children will not know who I've been involved with. That's none of their business. Two, the only man that my children have seen is someone that I am exclusive with to this day. That's it, other than their father. Secondly, I didn't feel the need to do a background check on him because him and I weren't like that. Yes, he did do something at the age of 16. I'm sure you've done things at the age of 16. I've done things at the age of 16. But that's when we need to stop being so judgmental. Yes, I don't knock what you're saying. We do have to have our guards up. But what about second and third and fourth, fifth chances? You get what I'm saying? He's already got enough on his helmet. I never intended none of this to happen. And I didn't want to be a part of why he went back to prison because of what he did, because I left my personal possession out. He had no business touching. I didn't feel the need to do all that because we've been cool on and off for a few years now. There wasn't no need for all that. I didn't think that this would ever boil down to that. So I hope that answers your question.
Sorry, you're on mute. Let me off mute you.
Background.
Sorry,
If
go
you
ahead.
did the background and the gun wouldn't have been out. I mean
Yeah.
the
Regardless,
possession wouldn't have been out.
let me say this, Miss Fab. Regardless of the fact if he had a clean background, a bad background or not, he stepped foot in my house. I shouldn't have to put nothing up. And like I've stated before, I've seen him with them before. So I'm not afraid to have my stuff out. I'm at home. I shouldn't have to put nothing up. It's not he's taught better or he's taught to survive. That's not my problem.
Right. And that's why the gun is missing now. And it has your name on it.
And it is what it is. And like
And
I
he's
said, I take
known for doing what he's done.
okay. And
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the end
So
of
I'm
the
just
day,
saying just be more careful. That's all I'm
I,
saying.
I, I understand what you're saying. And like I said, I take full accountability for what I did that I thought was right in my home. I can understand if I was over where he was at and I left it. That's a total different story. But I'm at home in my home. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you saying be more careful. You are absolutely right, honey. Very careful. Won't get me again.
Right.
And
That's
I
all
thank you,
I'm saying.
Fabulous. I thank you again for coming up. No, we appreciate it. We appreciate some good insight there. Just to, I guess, be extra careful, right? One thing that I did want to let you guys know, and I'm going to say this. I think it's a good point to just be extra careful no matter what. I think even you
Yeah.
would think the same thing, Miss Armstrong, right? But I do want to say something that a police officer had once said to me. He goes, a background check doesn't tell you who a criminal is; it just tells you who got caught.
Thank you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I just, so be careful. Take all the measures you possibly can. Even if a background check gives a clear, still be extra careful. And everybody learns their lessons, I guess, in different ways at different times, and whatever the case is, right? And obviously, I think this is something that, who knows why, for some reason, like you said, you never got to the idea of picking it up off the dresser and taking it with you to the grocery store. Who knows why that occurred, right? But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure when you soak this in and you reflect, and like you said, it's not something that was easy for you, right? This is something that, obviously was on your mind in different ways throughout, and after this occurrence happened, right? So to me, it's like, it makes sense to me that one would reflect in a way where you're thinking to yourself, there's things I could have done that I could have done differently. You know what I'm saying? So I get where some of the viewers are coming with their suggestions of doing things differently. But you guys do know that sometimes that happens in the reflection process, right? So it doesn't necessarily happen right away while all this is going down. But, while you have the time to reflect, like, for example, like some of you are doing today, we're going to think of things outside the box that you may have not have thought of, immediately, or at the time, right? Latrice.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree. And yes, you do a background check. I mean, just me, even in my profession, we do a background check on everyone that moves in. But that doesn't mean anything. We do the background checks, but s- some people, you can do a background check, but that still doesn't hide the fact that some of them are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy.
Correct. I don't disagree.
Background check doesn't show that.
I don't
Well,
disagree with.
that's it, and that's a good point. And like we said, even with interviews, job interviews, I mean, you'd be hiring a mother, what I mean, and then all of a sudden they be up in your house, they be doing some fraud and all this kind of shit. You wouldn't, but it doesn't, it is what it is, right? You'll try in every single way to vet somebody and to do what you do, but hey,
Yes.
there's gonna be some people that make it through, different paths, and Andre did, right? He made it into your house. He made it to the point where you were gonna fix him a meal. How good your spaghetti is, we might have to question that, but
I
you
made
know what I'm
some
So
saying?
I made some
so
meals at my sister baby shower, and the whole pan was pretty much gone. So
go.
it's not too
So
bad.
there's a person in the chat that's going by the name of Mech, and it's just so telling. I don't. It's either Mech is either to me Mech is either car his mom or Dre, because just some of the comments that are just coming across. I don't know if you've seen it, Blue Rock, but the comments are just they're speaking so matter of fact. They're just speaking so matter of factly. There's just no way that this is just a viewer,
Right.
just speaking.
And
Yeah,
Meg, you don't have to go back and watch. You can even step up and give
yeah.
some
Come
live
up and talk,
commentary.
Mac.
Let's
There ain't
let's
nothing wrong
talk
with that.
about it, because I said this, and I'm going to make this clear. I'm not talking about it again. I'm done, because I don't like the character that I is made out to be. I'm upset because he went back to his wife and this, that, and the other. And why would I call the police? I'm calling to protect me at the end of the day. I'm calling to protect me at the end of the day. That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And giving my side, so therefore you guys can understand why
Mm-hmm.
the police was called on him. Why he may be on the run, I don't know, and I really don't care. I didn't get on this platform to bash him, belittle him. I never said not one thing negative. I stated nothing but facts. I'm not criticizing him, his family, none of that. I'm not here for that. I'm speaking my truth. At the end of the day, we all hold ourselves accountable. This is a lesson learned, for me. I don't ever want to put myself in a situation again by having a good heart. That's my downfall. And that's something that I have to work through as an individual. But I'm not going to sit here and let nobody take away from me that I'm bitter. Bitter about what? If I stood up and showed y'all what I really look like and who I really am, y'all be like, oh, I see why he was after her. But it's not even about that. It's what was within me. And I hate that I have to come here and be so vulgar and so angry and upset because I'm being slandered. I'm protecting me, my peace. At the end of the day, that lady, those are her children. I got to stand up and fight for my kids. Who's fighting for mine? Who's fighting for me? Nobody. I'm doing this to get this story out. Let it be done. If someone in the comment is upset or this or that, I'm sorry. You're going to have to ask God for some forgiveness and healing because I can't do it for you. But I'm just on this platform to give my side of the story and let this rest in peace. And I wish Andre nothing but the best. Even though he did what he did to me, I wish him no ill will. Him and his wife live this happy life and they multiply and be fruitful and be great citizens of this country. No hard feelings, no love lost, no none of that. But I'm protecting myself and my peace.
Now we do have some live viewers in the back waiting to speak to you. And but before we do that, I wanted to say, I feel that, I completely feel that, I think that the purpose of you coming on tonight was mainly to, tell your part, because like we said, there was, we did a show on it and there was, some viewers and there's some opinions and, nonetheless, you wanted to give us your truth. And here, that's what we do at Bluerock Tea TV. We like to invite people up, Tea Time with Cheese also helped us, get in contact and stuff. And, so because we wanted to make sure that, we did share this story, but we wanted to see if you wanted to give an opportunity to at least, give your side rather than just have people speculate, right? Now, I do also think it's kind of wild that people, still want to poke at the idea that there could have been more of a reason why you chose to call the police, and like I mentioned, even if there is other reasons, this one reason alone is more than enough to action something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, on this show is about you trying to justify why you did it.
Right.
I think it should be very clear why somebody would do it, right?
Right.
And I think it's admirable that you still want to at least show that this is not about, downgrading or talking bad about Drake, because none of this really is. This is an unfortunate situation, right? And it's real life for you. Like for us, we're sitting here, we're watching it as if it's almost a show, but for you, this is real life for you. You know what I'm saying? This is something that you really truly had to go through. Like we just also looked at, this is something where that this man is capable of showing up at your front doorstep at any given point as well. So that I think the audience needs to appreciate is really, real life for you, right? So I thank you again too for coming up here, and I want the audience to appreciate that as well, and to really be respectful. If you are going to jump on and ask a question, we're going to allow one question though for the audience. No follow-ups, nothing like that. Just ask a question, give a bit of a commentary if that's what you want to do. But I think just to be respectful for your time as well, and for the night. I think we can just limit it like that. You know what I'm saying? No back and forth dialogue for the audience. Latrice, anything you want to add before we bring somebody on? And also, Ms. Armstrong, at any given point when you want to end the audience and start to wrap it up, let me know. It could be right now before any audience. It could be after one or two audience. It does not matter. Our audience, I think, are thick-skinned too. They'll get it. They'll understand and respect, your choices, right? And like I said, to me, for the most part, I think our audience are mature and they're critical thinkers. I do know some of them are using some passion and jump into things, and sometimes maybe that's just the tea spilling and being a little bit messy here and there, but ideally I do want to let you know that we do thank you, and I want to thank you on behalf of the viewers, the moderators, just all of us here at Bluerock TV. And I'm pretty sure Latrice feels the same exact way. So we don't want you to feel in any way that this is a moment to discount anything that you've been through. Sorry, go ahead, Latrice.
Yeah, I was going to say absolutely, and I still stand. As I stated when we did the last live, I also carry as well, and I have a license to carry, and I protect that with everything. And like I stated in the last live, that's your name, that's your background check, and there's a lot that we have to go through to be able to carry.
Right.
And so I totally understood calling immediately after after you noticed it was missing. I stand with you. I stood with you then. I stand with you now, because I get it, because that's my name and my reputation and my background. So I totally get it.
I greatly appreciate it. Blue Rock, I'm open to three more conversations, and then we can start wrapping it up. Because it's just mentally exhausting. It truly is. I mean, I wish I can give you 5 more hours, but that's just really all I have at this point. But I'm open to about three more questions.
All right, cool. And that's fair enough, because it is getting long anyways, and it is exhausting, because like, who really wants to kind of have to talk about this again and again, right? In this situation
Right.
here with us. So again, I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? And let's start to wrap this up here. I'm going to let that's Pi, what's up? How's it going?
Hey y'all, good night. How you doing, Miss Armstrong?
All is well, and how are you?
I'm fine. I first want to say, I'm sorry that you had to experience that, because I get that letting somebody in your space that you trying to open up to and build a trust with, and they disappoint you like that, that kind of puts a guard up for you dealing with other people and trusting other people.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's not a but I had some questions. Well, I do have some questions, not a but from what I'm saying. But if he wouldn't have did that, what did you see any potential in y'all moving forward?
No, I never looked at this thing as a thing moving forward. Like I stated
Okay.
before, I never really wanted to be in the limelight of Andre Blueface brother.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But if it would have happened, but if it would have just, naturally happened, no.
I no, I didn't see any potential of it growing anywhere or any further than what it was. I was
Hmm.
okay with sitting in the background. Like I said, once again, when I met him, and still going through my stage. I've been asked to be someone's girl, or potential wife numerous of times.
Hmm.
I'm just not ready yet. Like I
Right,
stated
right, right. I get
before,
it.
broken people hurt
Mentally ready,
innocent,
like right,
and I
right.
want
Because
to
when you're in a
make sure.
situation nowadays, especially, it's hard to jump into something. So
Right.
you try to be that person, but you don't want to look like you want to be there in that
Right.
relationship. But I experienced that where, man, oh, I don't want to be in a relationship. First off, you're bothering me. I'm not bothering you. So I
Correct.
get that. I
Yes.
never asked for a relationship. So yeah, I get it. They're weird. They're very weird. So
and and
I get
and
that.
to add on that, and not to cut you off, I want to be sure that I'm completely healed. This, if I were to get
Hmm.
into another relationship, it would be my third relationship, but I want it to be marriage. And
Hmm.
um, he, like I said, he went to prison for a minute, and there are some things that he's going to have to work out on, and I'm not willing to
Hmm.
be there for that. Obviously he's married to the woman who wants to be that
Hmm.
wife for him, not me. I've done that. I don't want to do it again. But I also can't
Hmm.
help who I am. I'm just that type
Hmm.
of person. So I respected more of the friendship than any intimacy or any.
Right. So you was trusting in somebody that you kicked it with, and known for a while, to where you wouldn't think he'll do that. I get it. Trust me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But I had turned my head off the chat for a minute, and I saw a picture. Was that you and him?
Yes, it was the day that the incident had happened. So he had, let's make this clear. He had told me he was cool off me, this, that, and the other. So this was just me being petty and messy with my girls, right? How we doing the show?
Mm-hmm.
I was being messy and petty with my girls. So he wanted to lay up, and I'm like, I got stuff to do. So I took a picture and I sent it to my girls, like, guess who here? And they was like, is that Andre? And I said, yeah. And they was like, he's so full of it, blah, 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 right? So that's why the picture is there. The picture was never there to get back, or I'm gonna show your
Oh no,
wife.
I missed the whole point with the picture. That's why I came back to the picture and was
The
asking.
yeah,
So now that you say that, so he was full of it because of.
the statement, he cool off me. he gonna live his life, or I guess he felt that it was
Oh, I
pressure when
get
it
it.
was no
Yeah.
pressure.
Yeah,
I
when
mean,
they have their moments acting
yeah,
like they don't really want you, but they the
I
ones
just
behind it.
believe you
Yeah, I
was
get it.
mad at your wife, so you took that conversation and flipped it and turned it towards me, because I've never pressured him into being in a relationship. Like I said, I have a roster. I mean, I could choose A, B, C, and D. Why would I settle? And I'm not knocking him, but why would I settle for you?
All right, that's Pi. Thank you so much there for asking. I thought there were fair questions there. And again, Miss Armstrong for replying and giving us some insight about that. I do want to move on there to Jazzy. Jazzy, we see you sitting there waiting to jump up. And I'm pretty sure you hear me. So I wanna pull you up here quickly, Jazzy, so you can ask your question as well.
Hey, okay, so I
Thank
don't
you.
have any questions. I don't have any questions, but I thought it was only right for me to jump since I was the one that was talking the last time. So
Hmm.
I just wanted to apologize because I was going off of the police report. I thank you for coming up here because I said I need her to come up here because I want to hear from her because it doesn't give you all the information. So that's all I wanted to come up and say.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it, because you were one I asked to be on because of what the police report said and how you were coming for me. And this is what I
I wasn't
want
coming
everybody
from
to.
you. It was the
And
situation, like
Let her finish. Let her.
but I felt attacked, so I'm in defense mode right now. So I
right.
greatly appreciate you coming on the platform and apologizing to me. But I just want, from here on out, everybody hears the story from each side. You get what I'm saying? I'm innocent in this situation. I didn't ask for this. I don't think no woman wants this. There are some, but not me. Not me. Not for what I stand for and who I am. So I greatly appreciate you coming on and apologizing, Jazzy, because I ain't gonna lie, you had my skin boiling. You had my cheeks turn red and my ears. And when that happened, baby, it's on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I was able to share my side so everyone can hear what I'm saying. Somebody just left a comment saying, drop the charges. Drop the charges for what? So if something happened and come back on me, then I'm sitting in a jail cell because of his actions. I'm not dropping nothing. He shouldn't have did what he did.
Okay, so because in the police report it kept saying the boyfriend, the boyfriend, the boyfriend, or whatever. So
Right.
that's why I had to, I'm like, okay, did she find out something? I was like, I need to ask her because it's not giving us enough information. Like, it's
And
not giving us information at all. And I was like, I could see her calling the police because I'm a report is stolen. I said, but I don't know if I could, press charges.
right.
That's just me.
But let's just
That's you.
make let's make something clear. If that was my man, why did he feel the need to steal from me? I don't know
That's why,
why the officer kept putting the boyfriend, the boyfriend, the boyfriend, and she's gonna press charges. He iterated that so many times when I've only stated that one time. When he called me to follow up in October, we're talking about the detective. Um, he kept saying your boyfriend. I said, look, quit saying that's my boyfriend. That's not my boyfriend.
right.
My boyfriend would be living with me. His things would be here, so he wouldn't feel the need to steal from me and never return. Like, let's make it make sense. So, but this was the very first time I seen the police when y'all did the interview. I knew nothing about the interview. I had to catch up, and boy, when I tell you, and if I could say this, I was pissed, very pissed. But we good now. It's out there. I've shared my side of the story, and I pray that everybody learn from this and they hear what I had to say.
All right, thank you, Jazzy. I appreciate that. All right, so we have somebody else here, viewer here that wants to jump up here. Ticks Boom. Not sure if they're still
Hey
around.
guys, thank you. Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hello, Bluerock. Hello, Latrice.
I'm
Thank you for
good.
What's up?
letting me
What's
come
up?
up.
Girl, hey.
Hey, I just wanted to find out for those that don't know about safety and so forth, what is the usual? Because it's been expressed that you guys have to go through a lot to be able to obtain
That
these types of things. So,
yes,
what
ma'am.
is the safety precautions? And before Dre came, is that how you always kind of had like your piece out?
Yes. So in the state of California, you can have any type of, as long as it's within your home. It becomes a problem when you step out of your home if you're not a concealed fire, if you could carry the concealed possession. There is a background check before you even purchase it from the store. I didn't buy it off the street. I purchased mine from the store. There was a background check. I
Same.
had to go through DOJ.
Hmm.
I had to give my license, my registration. I had to certain mail stating that I do live at that address at that time. You sign an affidavit basically stating that this is going to stay in your possession. You're responsible for it. There's serial numbers on that possession and what have you. Anytime you purchase, anything that goes with that, you have to show your ID. So all of that falls back to me. And I think that's why I was so upset, because people are not understanding why I called the police. You get what I'm saying? And then, like I said, the ammo was given to me by someone who fingerprints are on there. So it wasn't just me covering me. Yeah, I'm covering me, and I'm also covering the individual who gave me some of the ammo or what have you. As long as it's within my home, I can have it out. And it was out because I had been at home by myself. So it was sitting on the dresser for a couple of days. I didn't felt the need to move it because he was coming. I'm at home. I'm not gonna move my TV because he was coming. I mean, there was a whole bunch of other things that he could have taken that was valuable. But he took that because that's what's going on the streets right now. That's easy to sell. But I've warned him several times to bring it back. But it's gone. And I just got to take that as an L and keep pushing.
And not only that, we also have to do our fingerprints. We're
Yeah.
fingerprinted as well
My
to be able
Right.
to
I guess
carry.
I'm just trying to understand the safety at home with like seeing how much that happens with young people, children having access to open firearms, being in the home. I just don't know because I don't own and possess one, right?
So I
So,
will say this, sweetheart. My children were not home at the time, and I don't have little children. My children, father and I, we do take them to the range and we teach them how to properly use them in case something happens to us in the house. My kids is ready, locked, and loaded. I've never been the parent to baby my children. I've always kept it real with my kids. And that was a hobby that we enjoyed doing. And so, being that I'm home alone, thank you, I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it out. I'm there by myself. I'm in a different neighborhood. I don't know these people. They don't know me. Once again, I bought it for my protection. And I just, like I said, I felt that I didn't need to put it up because he was coming over. I mean, not knocking him, but who is he? You know what I mean? Like, but he's someone that obviously got sticky fingers. And that's why we're here today explaining.
And I hear that, and I thanks the viewer for their questions there as well, and Miss Armstrong for being so kind in answering them. But that's it, you guys. We're not going to take any more questions from viewers, so sorry for those waiting. But I think it's been a long interview. We've been talking about this for quite some time. And I think you provided enough information to give people a real good understanding of what happened and your thought process behind a lot of it. Um, Latrice, did you have any final thoughts or anything before I get Miss Armstrong's final thoughts? Anything you wanted to ask or add?
No, I'm good. I just, thank you so much. Thank you for being, as transparent as you were, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. And just, before we wrap this up, like I said, I want this to be shared. So any woman who is afraid to protect themselves, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the backlash because you are protecting yourself. Because these N words, they come and they go. They will be replaced. But your dignity, your self care, your self awareness, your background, your this, your that, that's you. That's you as an individual. Don't be afraid to speak up and say something. I mean, that's just what I did. So I don't regret it. I know, sometimes we sit back and, like you said, Blue Rock, what could we have done differently? And I'm going to be very honest with you. I don't think that I would have done anything differently. I probably shouldn't have not let him come over. because once again, I was busy. But other than that, it's a lesson learned. I've held myself accountable. My truth is out there. And I know if he ever hear of this, it's going to be the backlash, the degrading, the this, the that. And I think it's just going to be very comical, because it's very comical when he has his interviews or whatever he shares. I don't even listen to all of it because it's just all blah, blah, blah to me. But, Dre, you really need to get yourself some help. You cannot be living like this, especially when your family is in, the entertainment business. You're really putting your family out there as if, y'all wasn't raised right. I'm sure y'all were. I don't know. But I just wish them well. I just really wish Dre well.
Thank you again for coming. And the chat, a lot of them are saying thank you again for coming out and sharing your story. Somewhat reliving it a bit tonight and things like that. But again, we just want to thank you for saying yes and coming up and telling your story, right? Because you didn't have to, right? I had that conversation with you. I had asked you, and you decided to. And like always, we always thank our guests for doing that, because you didn't have to, but you wanted to tell your side. And you did a bit more of that. You also allowed us to ask our questions, and the viewers, to ask their questions. And again, you really didn't have to do any of that. So we do thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Now, Therese, anything else or
No, I
we're
think I'm
good?
good. Yep, I
Yeah,
think I'm good.
exactly.
I
So Miss
appreciate it.
Armstrong, no worries. Thank you again for coming out. And shout out to your girls in the background again, and
Yes,
shout
shout
out to
out.
them,
Shout out to my girls.
for holding me down. You know what I'm saying? Some commenters are there saying strong woman, again, thank you, and like you said, it is important for, people to share their stories, because it also could impact somebody else going through the same thing, or, or something similar, or maybe a little bit different. Just help them, maybe reflect differently and think about their decisions differently. Right. So again, thank you so much. And, I was going to say until next time, but maybe there shouldn't be a next time in these types of circumstances. Right.
Right.
But we would love to always hear about you in different circumstances. So you did say you're an entrepreneur. So hopefully, at some point we can hear some great things from you about that. You're always welcome to kind of share that with us, and we'll share with the audience, since you've been kind enough to share with us today as well, right? So again, we support people that support us, and thanks for telling your truth, and you have yourself a great night. All right.
All right. Thank you. You guys
Have a
take
good
care.
night.
You too, Trees. God bless
Okay.
All
you.
right.
All right.
God bless.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, so there you guys have it. Latrice, it was a long night again. It was a long day.
It was a
from
long
the show,
night. Listen,
the
we
show
put
earlier.
it as a twofer, right?
That was crazy. From the show earlier to then now, all of a sudden today, it was quite a long night, right? A long day,
I'm telling you.
But again, you guys, chat. Thanks again for being, respectful a bit. I know you all was getting a bit salty there, a little bit. I can tell. So, but for the most part, I do want to say thanks for being, respectful. I do want to thank the mods again for coming out short notice, and, twice today even to show us support and to make sure that we have things under control. And again, huge shout out to, Miss Armstrong, because she didn't have to come and serve the tea today and give us the, extra perspectives, but she chose to do that. And for those people who are catching the replay right now, don't forget to leave your comments in below, because we want to know what you're thinking as well. I'll be there. I'll be checking it out. And for those who are watching live right now, don't forget to check the replay. You know what I mean? Because there might have been some things that you didn't catch the first time around. And leave your thoughts in the comments. I see the blue diamonds and the teacups. What's up, y'all? And I think that's it, right, Latrice? We're good,
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Thank you guys so much for always tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Exactly. And don't forget to check Tea Time with Latrice's YouTube channel. The link is in the description below. Go ahead and hit subscribe there. We're also on IG, so check us out on IG. We put a lot of updates there on and then we meet here and sometimes on the live show, right?
Yep.
Now it is important to go ahead and follow Tea Time's YouTube, because we are going to start doing some of our live shows from there, and you definitely do not want to miss what we have coming up. So keep it locked right here at Bluerock Tea TV for all the juicy details.
Good night.